Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play the entirety of this video and then I'll go back and talk about things that are going on in the video to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that were done right and or done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
This briefing will provide information about an officer-involved shooting involving members of the New York City Police Department. You will see relevant video footage and other available evidence that will allow you to gain a better understanding of the events that led up to the incident and what occurred during the incident based on the facts that we know at this time. New York state law and NYPD policy give police officers the authority to use reasonable force under appropriate circumstances. The department's Force Investigation Division conducts a thorough investigation when an officer discharges his or her firearm or in cases of any serious police-related injury or death. Sometimes these investigations can require as much as a year or longer to complete. Our understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. Investigators are typically required to interview multiple witnesses several times, review many hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. The images and information you are about to see may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to take a person into custody or defend against an attack, the images can be graphic and sometimes difficult to watch. There may also be strong language recorded in the videos you are about to see. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers.
New York City 911, do you need police, fire, or medical?
Police.
Okay, and what is the address, please?
I don't know. It's the Boost Mobile Store on 174th and Bryant.
Is that East 174th Street in Bryant?
Yes.
Bryant Avenue. Okay, so East 174th Street and Bryant Avenue in the Bronx, and you said it's the Boost Mobile Store?
Yeah, it's in like a little mall.
Mobile store inside Little Mall?
Yes.
What happened there? What is the emergency?
Somebody has a gun. I think he's trying to rob the mall, the store.
Yeah, the 40 is about 26 pounds. He's still at the scene at the time.
Stand right there.
Well, they said to show us that
I'm standing right here. What am I standing here for?
Stand right there. Boss, don't move.
I didn't even do nothing.
Just chill out, just chill out. Be advised, Central, somebody over the fire. Put it down! Put it down! Put it. Shots fired, Central, shots fired.
Boss, stand right there for me. Stand right there. I'm standing right here. What am I standing here for?
Stand right there. Boss, don't move.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I didn't even do nothing, man.
Don't touch me, bro. Shots fired, Central. Shots fired.
In the coming weeks and months, the NYPD Force Investigation Division, in cooperation with the prosecutor having jurisdiction over this incident, will continue to investigate and analyze this incident as more interviews are conducted and forensic tests are completed. After the investigation is complete, the facts of the case will be presented to the First Deputy Commissioner's Use of Force Review Board, which will evaluate the evidence to determine if the use of force applied in this case was justified and within department guidelines.
All right. Go ahead. Hit replay.
This
Up that volume.
information about an officer involved.
All right. This dude likes to talk. It's one thing I've noticed about these NYPD videos is the first minute or two of their critical incident briefings is just him talking. So, this dude, piece of shit, does this, and someone else thinks that he's robbing the store, and they call the police. All right, so finally, I don't know what exactly kind of car they're in, but NYPD has like an interesting fleet of vehicles. This, I think, is an unmarked unit based off the fact that there is one single light on the visor area, and the fact that there's no Christmas tree of controls up here. And I've noticed that in one of their other marked vehicles. And traditionally, all those controls are in the center console, but for some reason, New York likes mounting shit to the top of this dashboard up here. I don't know. I don't get it. New York's just a little bit weird. So they're responding to this call. These guys are in full uniform, but the vehicle they roll up in, I don't think is a marked vehicle. Now, I'm not sure what this thing in the dash or the windshield is. It almost looks like it's like an Uber logo or something, like some type of rideshare kind of logo. So I don't know if they put that in there to kind of like throw people off, or if it's something else. I really don't tell it is. But you can see here, there's no markings on the vehicle, so you can't tell it's a police car. Now, initially, when they roll up on the scene, the passenger has his gun in his hand. And at some point, between him getting out of the car and approaching the scene up here, he decides to holster up. And he holsters up right here. Bad guy's right here.
Stand right there. Stand right here.
Now, I am not a fan of how he is controlling the scene. There's a lack of control.
Stand right there. Stand right here. What am I standing here for? Stand right there.
Boss, don't move.
No, I didn't even do nothing.
Just chill out.
Before it ever got to him putting his hands on this officer, no, like it shouldn't even got to that point. These two were responding to a call involving a person with a gun. He did right by getting out with his gun out. That gun should have stayed out. And when he approached this door and this dude's coming at the door with his aggressive and hostile stance, his gun should have been pointed at him.
Stand right there.
He is not assertive enough, and he is not aggressive enough, in my opinion.
Right here. What am I standing here?
He gave up his ground. He backed up. He allowed this guy to continually increase aggressiveness.
Boss, don't move.
I didn't even do nothing.
And he did not respond appropriately.
Just chill out.
And then, while this guy ran and he started the chase, and you'll see it in the second video from him, this guy for whatever reason slows down. And he still has not cleared this spot right here. You just now see him move. Let me back it up 5 seconds here. Boom. He just now cleared that right there. And this guy has already went around the truck and is coming this way and is back towards this officer. This officer over in here, I'm not a big fan of him. Not a big fan whatsoever. I'll touch more on him here in a little bit. What we see here is radio in one hand, gun in the other. This is why I am not a fan of radios without remote speakers on them. Shoulder mic, lapel mic, corded mic, whatever you want to call it. This is why I'm not a fan of just a radio without those. It would be so much easier for him to be able to communicate with dispatch if he could just reach up to his shoulder or his chest area, press a button, talk, let go, and have that hand able to go to a full two-handed grip on his pistol. But instead, now he's being forced to maintain a one-handed grip on his pistol. And as we all know, a one-handed grip on a pistol sucks.
Put it down.
The guy's got the gun in his hand as he's coming towards him. I'll back it up.
Put it down.
He got way too fucking close. Way too close.
Put it down.
At the moment he noticed it, and he said, "Put it down." The guy didn't put it down. He should have started shooting. No questions asked. He should have started shooting. And I can't get the freeze.
Put it down.
But there is a good freeze frame that shows the bad guy with his arm extended, pointing at the officer.
Put it down.
Yeah, I won't be able to freeze it.
Put it down. Put it.
Yeah. Well, actually, you can. Well, I can't get it to freeze right. But this bad guy approaches the officer and jerks the gun up at him and shoots at the officer, and the officer, of course, returns fire. This officer almost got himself killed by not acting appropriately. And the appropriate way to act is, as soon as he saw that gun, and this dude
Be
was
advised,
coming at
Santos, I'm
him,
over.
he should have just fucking shot him.
Put it down. Put it down. Put.
Also, at this point, if you're not going to be using a lapel mic and you're going to have to use a portable radio like this, then in firearms training, well, what you should do is if your agency does not provide you a lapel mic, then you just need to say fuck it and buy your own. Yeah, I know they're not cheap. They're probably around $50 or so, maybe more depending on the radio model and how new it is or whatever. But if your agency, your company doesn't provide you one, and you're doing uniformed work, it is a piece of life safety equipment. You need a remote speaker, lapel mic, shoulder mic, whatever you want to call it. You need the damn thing. So if your agency or company doesn't provide it, you need to buy one on your own. Put it on there and eat the cost. I mean, you can write it off on your taxes if you want to. Now, if you're working, of course, paycheck to paycheck at the end of the year, that's, in the moment, that's not going to help you. But end of the year, you can still, write it off on your taxes. But eat the cost, buy the damn thing, put it to use. If you're not going to buy one, if you're so damn poor that you're not going to buy one, then again, there's other thing. There's really no reason why you shouldn't buy one. If you're so damn poor you can't buy one, I'm sure there's stuff going on in your life that you could cut out, where you could save some dollars here and there and then buy one. But if you're not going to buy one, or your agency, for whatever reason, says you can't buy one and put it on the radio because they've got those little dust covers over the data ports on the side of the radio, and their policy says you can't take that off. You'd be amazed by how many agencies have stupid policies. But if the agency has some goofy, stupid, retarded policy like that, I'd encourage you to be vocal and try to change that policy. But if for whatever reason, you just absolutely cannot use a shoulder mic, then I think that the best option is to, when you're doing firearms training, have some drills or scenarios set up where you've got a radio in your hand, and you can get a training. If your department has blue guns and stuff, or the red guns, then surely you might have a blue radio or red radio, just a plastic fake radio. If not, you can get something like a broken radio and use it, or something that's about the size of your radio. Put it in your hand and practice jettisoning that damn thing out of your hand and dropping it on the ground and go into a good two-handed grip. In this instance, one-handed grip sucks, and he tries to marry both hands together to get a traditional two-handed grip, but the radio's in the way. And obviously trying to take the time to get this swivel mount into its bracket is not going to be on the list of top things to do. So just dropping this object out of the hand and going to a two-handed grip is the better thing to do in this scenario. But because you don't practice this on the range, of course, you're not going to be doing it. So first things first, get a lapel mic if you can. Stop buying coffee, at the store. Stop buying Snicker bars. Stop buying Cokes for, a couple weeks. Save up the money, buy a lapel mic. If you can't, then when it comes to firearms training, incorporate some drills and scenarios in your training to where you've got a radio-shaped object in your hand. You can even mimic talking on the radio, and then, the fight drill happens, and then you got to jettison that thing out of your hand and go to a two-handed grip. Because this and this together isn't working. So shots are exchanged.
Shots fired, Central, shots fired.
And it cuts to the other guy's footage. Same thing with him. No lapel mic whatsoever.
Boss, stand right there for me. Stand right there. Stand right there.
I'm standing right here.
Stand right
what
there.
am I standing
Stand right
here
there.
for?
Stand right there.
Boss, don't move.
You're not
I
listening to what I'm
didn't
saying.
do nothing, man. Don't touch me, bro.
All right. This guy pauses. Let me go back.
I didn't do nothing, man. Don't touch me, bro.
What he's pausing for, I don't see any good, credible reason on what he's pausing for. I just don't think this guy's mindset is in it.
Nothing, man. Don't touch me, bro.
I almost think, I don't know, this is pure speculation on my part, but I almost think this officer purposely delayed himself going after this guy and slow poked it in hopes that the dude would just completely run away and he wouldn't be able to get hands on him. That's my personal opinion.
Shots fired, Central. Shots fired.
And then he obviously could just completely stop.
Shots fired, Central. Shots fired.
In the coming weeks and months, the NYPD.
Not much else to say about this video. I think there is a clear lack of assertiveness and aggressiveness from this officer. And it could be, location. They're in defunded New York. They're probably neutered for the most part in what they can actually do. He may be afraid about losing his job if he offends someone or, pulls a gun on a seemingly unarmed black man. I for one would never want to live in New York, and if I lived in New York, I sure as shit would not want to be in that profession. But this lack of assertiveness and aggressiveness, in my opinion, is going to spiral out of control, and it's going to get people hurt. Not much else to say about this video. If you like what you hear and see, give me a like and a share. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.